Welcome to First Look, brought to you by the Edamame Anime Club. I'm Steve, and I'm joined with my co-host.
Alexander, always great to be here.
Agreed. And we have a so just to I always say this every episode. What First Look is? First Look is we watch the first two episodes of an anime, and we determine whether it's worth watching or dropping.
Yes.
So we are doing another banger. So let's crack open these beers.
All right, all right.
And what we're gonna start doing is bringing in a new beer, and I think this is an appropriate. Which one did you bring?
I got a blood and honey, so I thought that one was a good one after the events of episode 1 and 2.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, hands down, like this is one of those. Well, I mean, we could have done this for multiple anime that we've
Oh
done in
yeah,
the
yeah,
Halloween. So it's definitely a Halloween beer.
yeah. So
All right,
let's
cheers,
check it
Kampai.
out. Kampai.
All right.
Pretty good. You can. It is a Texas ale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's 7%. That belies that it's that alcoholic. So yeah, it tastes
It's all
good.
right.
Yeah.
It's all right. I don't know if I like the honey flavor. I'm not a big fan of honey in my beer. My whiskey, it's fine, but in my beer, I
Yeah.
don't know. But I can't. It lingers a little bit.
Yeah, it's got like kind of like a little spicy aftertaste too. So I guess that's where the blood and honey comes from.
Got it. All right.
But
So
yeah, so today we're gonna be doing Ga-Rei-Zero, which is an anime that came out in 2008, I believe. The reason I decided to pick it, we're doing horror related anime right now,
yeah.
so I thought this would be a good one. Kind of disclosure, I've seen this anime when it aired. I watched it as it was airing in 2008, and I know Steve hadn't seen it,
I
so
have not
I
yet.
thought it would be a good one, and I thought it would be good to like see if like my nostalgia goggles were on,
Oh
as
yeah.
I was watching it, because I really liked it when I first watched it, but I was still pretty new to anime, so I wanted to see now that years later and dozens and dozens and dozens of anime later, if I still thought it held up.
Did, so how did you watch it when you were a kid? Was it on Toonami or?
Uh,
It's I can again we're not giving off too away, but like I can see it being on Toonami.
oh yeah, yeah. It was serialized by Funimation in 2010.
Okay, so it's
So, but
wow.
I watched it like I said as it was airing. So, back then you had to find like subgroups that would, I guess they would rip it from Japanese TV, and then it was done by fan subs.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so the one we watched is actually official. I guess translations, dubbing,
Yeah,
whatnot.
it was good,
Yeah.
and yeah, we watched it dub and sub.
Yeah, we watched the first episode dub, and then we tried to watch it sub. And I don't know what was the deal with Crunchyroll, but it was not having us. Like it was, I had basically had to switch it back over to dub, and it worked fine. But watching it sub, I don't know. It just
Yeah, that was extremely strange. So yeah,
yeah,
you can find this anime on Crunchyroll right
yeah,
now as of October 2023. You can definitely
yeah,
find it there. So definitely check it out after the episode, or don't if we say to watch it or not to. All right, let's get some information on this episode.
yeah. So little background info. So Ga-Rei is a manga that was serialized from 2005 to 2010, and on volume 6, it got announced that it was going to have a prequel anime, which is Ga-Rei-Zero. So it's actually a unique prequel anime, uh, preceding all the events of the manga.
Okay.
Yeah. It's animated by Anime International Company. I had to scroll through. I didn't really ring a bell, but there's a few anime on here that I've seen that they've done before. One I've seen, which is called My Bride is a Mermaid, I believe is the English translation. I
Yeah,
recognize that one. Tenchi Muyo. They have a few Tenchi Muyo series, and then their most recent one that came out in 2013 is Date Alive. So that one's pretty popular from what I understand. I haven't seen it. It's got multiple seasons.
oh,
So it's a harem anime from what I understand.
okay. I don't recognize any of those anime,
Yeah,
but all right.
yeah. So they've been around since like the 1980s. 1987 was their first anime, I guess, called Cream Lemon Angel. Getting a little sidetracked. Anyways, some of the reception from Ga-Rei-Zero, actually fans of Ga-Rei were actually upset after episode 1 because they were expecting a prequel anime, and no spoilers yet, but episode 1 um is kind of confusing. Like if
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. It definitely is confusing. It feels like I started this anime. Like it feels like you've been watching it for 4 episodes, and I jumped in on episode 5.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
how it
yeah,
feels.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. So it was a little confusing, but and it's fine. I'm okay with being confused a little bit because anime that do that, they start off with the confusing episode, are really good at tying it back in toward the end, and they blend it really well.
Yeah, yeah.
But this one, obviously, there's some feedback behind it.
Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it for background information.
All right, perfect. Well, so why'd you want me to watch this? You because so normally we go back and forth on which anime we pick, and
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is the Halloween season, so we'll cover that a little bit. But why did you pick it? You randomly picked it. We were at Applebee's,
Yeah.
and you're all I know what anime I want to pick, and I go, do I get a choice? And you said, no, we're picking it. And
Yeah,
was, all right.
I did. I put my foot down. We were gonna watch this one. It was actually Marcus who gave me the idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Marcus is his brother.
Yeah, my brother. I showed this anime to him. Me and my brother watched a lot of anime. He basically only watches anime. I tell him to. He doesn't go out of his way.
He watched Demon Slayer solo dolo, bro.
Okay.
When we were in Vegas, he watched.
Oh, you're right.
He watched
did.
his solo dolo, bro.
Very, very rare he goes out of his way to watch any anime. Let's say that, unless I recommend him an anime.
But yeah,
and even then he'll watch like maybe 6 minutes of like an anime. Like we'll be like, oh, we're on episode 1. He'll be like, I ain't watching that shit. And
yeah, it just depends.
Yeah,
it depends if the Astros are playing. Anyways,
Yeah.
So you said you watched it with him like while it was airing, right?
Yes.
And then he brought it back to your attention. Or?
I can't remember what he. Oh, see, I'd be giving spoilers of what he said because we were talking about what episode we want to do on a first look, and he said, "Is it going to be the one that?" And he said a little sentence, and I was like, I didn't think of that, and now that it's in my head, I felt we should watch it.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it was good. I mean, for what I got from it. But do you think it's horror themed? Be honest.
It's kind of more like a weird, like cheesy action flick, but after I think the events of the ending of episode 1 puts it into the horror kind of category.
See, I'm more of like a face value. To me, it's not so much horror, but there is horror elements to it. So like ghosts. They call them ghosts. They have these like creatures, whatever they call them. They call them cat. They have them based off categories.
Yeah.
But yeah, so to me, it wasn't a horror, but it did follow horror themes. It kind of reminded me of like it kind of reminded me of One Punch, like with the monsters like spewing up from the ground. It gave me a little hint of that. If you ever watch One Punch, the whole like subterraneans, whatever they call it. It kind of reminded me because they're coming from the ground, and it definitely did not. It wasn't spooky, but there was one thing and I always use this to decipher whether it's scary or horror. The music, made it seem horror, and I'll get into that when we get into the pros and cons.
Yeah.
All right. So let's.
So are we classifying this as horror or no?
I'm not.
I would. I got kind of like, I wouldn't say like scared, but I was like getting chills from like the premise of it, like.
Yeah, maybe later on, but I've only watched the first 2 episodes. Yeah. So in my opinion, Ga-Rei-Zero is not a horror.
Okay.
And you're saying Ga-Rei-Zero is.
It not a straight horror. I guess you got me on that. It's not a straight horror anime, but it has horror elements. You're right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. No, it's good.
Fair
good.
enough.
Yeah. All right. So do we let's give our pros and cons.
Yeah, pros and cons.
And we'll tell you whether to drop it or watch it at the end.
I'll give my pro. I'll go with some of my pros. I actually kind of like the intense beginning of it. It seems to like set like that like a lot is on the line.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I just like the opening spot. The opening scene is like it's a sky view camera over the city, and then it doesn't show you where the action's happening, but you automatically know.
Yeah, it's like you can hear it in the voice. Like there's a bunch of like communication between like military operatives and stuff like that. And then you see
kind of like a crowd of people like firing at each other or something like that. And then it pans off into, and what made me think this is horror was like where he's at a cemetery.
Yeah.
And it's not really a horror scene. It's just him at a cemetery paying respects to someone.
Yeah.
And I don't get touch bases on that yet, but it might later on. I'm sure it kind of did.
It does at the very end of episode 1. It ties that back in.
Yes. Okay. So that was kind of cool. And you're right. Like it was. It did have like a lot on the line. Like it's literally like a firefighter like trying to put out a fire, and then like a random like Black Hawk. I don't even.
Yeah, just lands down.
Yeah, we'll take it from here. Yeah. Like you're relieved of duty of putting out a fire. We're here to take control. So
and then the guy in the first scene's like he figure out he's like a part of like a special operations group, and he's like, we got a mission, like, you know, because
Oh, yeah.
that chick shows up on him.
Yeah, he's like,
Yeah,
I forgot. He was like, oh, I'm on duty,
yeah, yeah,
And they tell him to stand by, and of course, typical badass.
yeah.
He just goes into action and
Yeah,
stuff like
this
that.
is all like the first like 2 minutes, like
Yeah.
yeah. So it was an intense like beginning, like an intense setup. Like I liked it. Like,
And I really like that they show the villain kind of early on,
hmm
and he has that creepy smile.
oh yeah,
It was really creepy. So again, horror elements to that, and they keep giving him flashbacks to this guy that
yeah,
I'm presuming is the main character at this point. At this point on in the
yeah,
beginning,
yeah,
presuming.
or at least the main antagonist, the main villain.
Yeah, well, not the I meant the actual hero. He's the one having
Mm.
flashbacks of the first
Okay,
episode.
you're okay. I see what you're
And I
saying.
say that because obviously there's something that's changed at the end. But it was cool to see these monsters though. They were all right. The monsters were fine.
Yeah,
I'll get into the cons on the monsters in a bit, but they're like ghost creatures and they're coming up and they're blind to everyone else except a select few
yeah, like humans can't see them unless they got like a special,
visors.
yeah, like they got like a, what is that from Dragon Ball? They got
The Z where it checks their power level.
yeah, the scouter.
The
That's what I'm
scouter,
sorry. Yeah, they all got scouters.
they have scouters on. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that to me, I mean, it was kind of cool. I like that. I
yeah,
think that's really cool.
yeah,
It just kind of like, oh, they're like only a few select people could see them. Uh, and we can go on the pros, but this episode was really good because the way it ended.
no, the ending is definitely top notch on it.
Yeah, if you notice, and this is something I might go on. Hope it doesn't go on a tangent, but why does every anime have a council of people? Every
Yeah,
anime, I think I'm given like maybe like so Neon Genesis,
yeah,
uh, Afro not Afro, Afro Samurai does kind of have it.
sort of. Yeah, I
Kind of,
can see it.
they're like they're
It's like on the other side, but yeah, yeah, it does have it.
One Punch Man has a council of the heroes.
Yeah,
My Hero has a council of heroes.
yeah. Even if you think about Bleach, like they got like their own like
Lieutenants.
they got like a government behind like the lieutenants that are like
Oh,
calling
okay.
shots and stuff like that.
Yeah. So like so another council, but I thought that was kind of cool. I don't know, maybe it's because it's
Yeah,
always part of that, and it's always like a top ranking member shows up.
yeah, yeah.
So I will give a huge pro to the music.
Oh, I had the music as a pro too.
Awesome. So
Yeah,
and it really like the beginning's fine, it's all cool and all. The spooky scenes they were like that. Music was very eerie
hmm
and made you feel like that, like oh something spooky's
yeah,
happening. But the action scenes when he pulled up on the bike, and again, spoiler alert for episode 1 and 2. We're basically gonna give a lot of spoilers for 1 and 2, but we're just talking about the episode.
yeah,
He pulls up and he's on the back of the bike, and he's just like
yeah,
this is
yeah,
like
yeah,
kill, just letting go rounds,
yeah,
and it was the music was so badass. He
yeah.
pulled up, he was such a badass.
Yeah. I wrote that the music has a huge variety of music. It's like going from like heavy metal to like almost like pop music kind
Oh
of
yeah, yeah.
to like I was thinking like Metal Gear Solid, like you're playing on a level, like it's got like the tactical like kind of thing, like whenever like the soldiers are showing up and shit like that.
Otacon.
Yeah. It was actually really good. It changes a variety, and then
Oh
like it's like spooky. Yeah.
no, great,
It
great
was
music.
the soundtrack changed up a lot, and it was really good.
Yeah, and then we get the sickest ending for episode 1. It just reminded me of if you ever watched Invincible, like just like we followed this squad and they just get annihilated.
Yeah.
Like I was shocked by the way it ended because it was such a cool like a scene where he's like oh happy go
Yeah.
like we did the mission.
Mission's all good. Like
Yeah,
they're celebrating, like they're all sipping on coffee, like
yeah.
palling around.
And then the guy's hand goes missing. He goes, "Oops, I seem to spill my coffee."
Yeah,
And then we just started seeing limbs fall left and
yeah,
right. And then the best shot, hands down, was he's talking to the girl. I guess like I give
yeah,
my opinion, and like from this, I'm thinking she's the female lead.
yeah.
He's talking to her, and then you see her head slide off, and then he goes into a flashback,
hmm
and which is back to flashback, and it shows that the person that he's at the cemetery is the person that he killed, who had some type of relationship with.
It was his little sister. Actually, the episode one's called Above. I said that weird. Above Owie, which is that's what he's saying, like Owie, Owie, like,
Oh,
and that's his like sister being like possessed in like the flashback, and he's like forced to shoot her.
I didn't even. Did they say that?
Yeah, yeah. It's called Above Owie, and
Yeah,
then he's saying her name like in
yeah.
that specific
But did
scene.
it say that like that's his sister? Because I didn't catch that.
I don't know. I guess I'm assuming. I guess it might not be his sister. Maybe they did mention it. I don't know. Maybe it's just my own headcanon.
Anyways, he does have to kill her,
Yeah.
and that's the person he's at the
Yeah.
center. And then it cuts back to present day or what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And then you see the head roll over,
Yeah.
and then and then the
The main.
badass.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought it was really cool how you know she's chopping people up, and those two people, the guy and the girl. The guy's like, it's a class A, like, and then like shit's just hitting the fan, like,
Oh, yeah.
like he's like asking for backup. The comms leader or whatever, and like the leader of the team are like in their little like reconnaissance van, and they're like, you know, he's already dead with a bullet in his head, and then the girl's like, we're all dead and so are you, and she like, you know,
deletes the hell out of herself. Yeah.
like
With like some type of they call them latchers.
yeah,
Yeah.
they don't talk about it till episode 2, but yeah.
Yeah.
She's like some kind of mind control thing. Like honestly, like those like what is it, like 2 maybe 3 minutes, all this shit goes down, is just like fucking intense.
There's if you watched it, it was good, and then the last like 2 minutes were just amazing.
Mhm.
Like if you were like not invested, you would get invested right there.
Yeah.
Sick scene. I mean, just an amazing scene. And then that's it. Like that's all we get from the first team.
Yeah.
So that whole episode was kind of like,
Yeah. One of the things I really thought was cool about this anime when I was watching it is I've never seen any anime whatsoever introduce a cast of people, make you kind of invested in them. Like they all have like a personality, they're interacting with each other,
yeah,
and they're all murdered like in the last minute. And that's actually going back to what I was talking about on the negative reaction of episode 1. Like the fans of Ga-Rei, the manga, were upset at episode 1 because, you know, oh shit, the main guy I love is getting a prequel. Let me watch it, and then they're probably just like wondering what the hell just happened. Like none of this has anything to do with the anime or the manga. You know, the anime just killed off everybody.
I see what you're saying
Yes,
now.
yes.
I didn't get it the first time. I was like, oh, yeah, but now I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
saying that like those people are watching, like, who are these guys?
Yeah, who are these guys? And not only that, like they thought it was gonna be like the prequel, so they're got invested in them, and they're just all dead. So now they got to wait another week to see what the hell they're gonna be doing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I see what you're saying. It was really good. I mean, so we get that, and then so we'll keep going with the pros. I'm gonna go into episode 2.
Yeah.
We have a new group of badasses.
One of my pros is actually I kind of like the over the top action. It's like I said, it was cheesy earlier, but it's like I find it cool. Like you know, like there's an action scene where the main chick is like rolling around on like a motorcycle, like killing zombies and stuff. You know, the guys riding on the back of the motorcycle shooting pistols. Like it's just like really over the top. And
yeah, I mean it's like Die Hard type deal, but an exaggerated version of it.
Yeah.
I do have some critique on that, and I'll cover it a little bit about the motorcycle scene.
All right.
All right, so and you're right, the action scene was badass. I did like the action, and the music just added to it like a whole other element. So that whole group is dead.
Yeah, dead now. Yes. Even episode 2 starts and just shows them all getting murdered again, just to reinforce that they are actually dead.
Yeah. And then we get into we have a new group of people.
Yeah.
And what do you think about this group? I like the first group better.
I did like the first group better.
This second group of people, it was like they had the twins, and I think they're called Ponzo or something. I don't know what their name is.
It was like Nobu and
yeah. I didn't like them at all.
Podu or something. Yeah.
I didn't like the guy that was driving.
Yeah.
I didn't like Briefcase. Oh, we're getting into cons. Sorry, I'm skipping over. But I didn't like him as much as the first team is one I get.
Yeah, okay.
But there was one character in there, Kagura. Kagura.
Yeah.
Kagura. They're basically like fighting off this like category B, and that's how they rate them. So category A is the like most elite monster they have.
Yeah.
B is like the giants that wander. C are kind of the foot soldiers. But then we get category D.
Yeah, category D.
Which are these latchers that latch on and make you like no. They just turn you into zombies. Right?
Yeah, they basically just turn you into zombies.
Yeah,
like the human, like it was actually kind of like interesting. Like so they go through great lengths to make you know that like everyone's getting wiped out, which is why I said I kind of made it seem like a lot's at stake. Like 80% of the strike team died. You know this and that, and now they're like coming back as latchers.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean you're right. There's a lot, but I didn't see that happen. So it did add more horror elements to it though. Now we got these like zombie-like creatures.
Yeah.
So we have that. But Kagura, so they're fighting off this like monster, and they get to a scene where Kagura. Kagura?
I say Kagura.
Kagura. No, you're right. That's how you should say. Kagura is like there's all Kagura's at the end, and it's just her, and she just solos this one giant beast.
Yeah.
And then that was kind of it solidified her as a badass.
Yeah, she's the top notch.
So I did put that. that right here. Oh, category D's. We have so again they introduce this eerie music
Yeah.
of the music like is when I might be skipping ahead. So what do you have for pros? Any more pros on this?
I liked the Yomi reveal.
Okay,
Right.
so that's what I was getting
Yeah.
into.
Like I actually wrote that it gave me chills. So there's like an unknown entity that kills everyone in episode 1, right? Like kills them with a sword, like brutal style. Like it's fucking brutal. And then like so they're showing like some like there's like some Japanese politics, etc., or whatever, and like this like secret organization elite is like watching like the footage of how um I think they call them like Section 4, the original cast from episode
Okay,
1.
yeah.
They all get killed, right? So they're watching the footage, right? And they're like freeze frame it, and it's like this girl standing there, and they're like emergency, like contact everyone, like give the kill order, and fucking like it then transitions to like her name's Yomi, like murdering everyone around the second team, and fucking like Kagura's phone rings, right?
Yeah.
And it's Yomi calling her. Like I thought I thought that was fucking cool.
That is cool. I thought
Yeah.
the lead, like the
No.
council were calling them to give the order.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes
No,
way more sense.
Yomi was calling her.
Yomi's calling her and her phone. It's like a picture of them together.
Yeah, and everyone's like freaking out. They're like, "This is impossible. It can't be." And she's sitting there murdering people in front of them.
There was a weird, and it's not a con for me, but it was like the dichotomy of like the guy and Kagura. They were both invested in Yumi,
Yes.
but we don't know why. And they introduced it first
Yeah.
with Kagura,
Yeah.
and then later in they introduced it with that other guy.
Whenever Kagura opens her phone, like because she's getting a phone call, it's actually on her like home screen. It's like a picture of both of them together.
Yeah. So I said that, and I put siblings, and then I erased it because we find out later that she is the fiance of the other guy.
The other guy,
I don't know his name.
no, he's probably the only other important character besides Kagura Yomi.
Yeah, I mean he was a really cool character.
Noriyuki is his name.
Noriki, yeah. So he was a cool character. I really enjoyed him, but that whole I was kind of undecided on who was who. So I was like, who is she close to? But they end up
Yeah.
both going toward
Yeah.
and finding them. So we get that kind of adventure with them too. But just her being on camera, eerie music, that's what it was. It was just all eerie music. I also liked Kagura's sword.
Yeah.
It was I don't know if it's like spring loaded or if it's like because it's like it has a trigger on it.
Yeah.
That she
It
uses.
looks like a gun, like her.
Yeah, it
hilt's like a
kind of
gun.
reminds me of like Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at when I saw it.
I was thinking Final Fantasy 8.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if you've seen that. They got gun swords in that one.
But yeah, so that was really cool. And then so we get this final kind of like scene where they go looking for Yomi, and in my opinion, it's like one of those search, and then we got to split up, and then
Yeah.
I really like the scene is that like she's talking about Yomi, and like it's so, and then she's talking to like this ferret, Weasel.
Yeah. Which is Noriyuki's like pet. Like his special ability is like see, like he uses his pets to see. Like he's kind of like a seance or something.
Yeah.
And he gives Yomi or Kagura the weasel, and she's like sitting on her shoulder.
And he's like, I wonder if he has the ability to kill him. That was his fiance. So that's when we get the reveal that they had more relationships. But whenever she's saying that, what do you think? His head falls off. The ferret, dude.
The ferrets,
I was hurting. That was the big death for me.
The big death.
The ferret. So then that's when they have their final battle. What did you think about the battle?
I liked it. It does set the precedent that like Kagura is a badass because like everyone else is getting murked by Yomi.
Yeah.
So she's able to fend for herself, and she technically like wins the fight, but doesn't kill Yomi because of the past relationship. And she's like, I thought you were my big sister, and she's like, don't ever call me that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, so that's where it got. That's where I had crossed out siblings
Yeah.
and then wrote it back in because it doesn't say that till the end. But I did like that whole battle. It was cool. I'll get in the cons of it a little bit, but then we get introduced to a lot. The cool scene is she was like, hopefully, what's his name shows up. Dots, whatever his name is. Nagaru.
Noriyuki.
Noriyuki.
Yeah. The fiance.
Yeah, he's hoping the Noriyuki shows up, and she goes, where he was all, I don't think he's gonna show up, and then she has blood on her cheek.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
She even like one lines him. This is the English dub, by the way. She's like, I don't think he's got the guts.
Oh yeah, she does
Yeah.
have a one line on
Yeah.
her. And then that's kind of where we get this like final. Does she kill her at the end? I know we just watched it.
No, it ends with like her basically disarmed, like, and her like Yomi can summon like some kind of demon animal.
Like tiger lion.
Yeah, and it's got like 8 eyes or something and tentacles, but it like grabs Kagura by the arm and she's basically trapped and she's fucking like basically toying with her.
Yeah.
Like she's like cutting up her clothes and stuff like that, and then like
fan service.
yeah.
All right, those are all the pros I got, dude.
Yeah, that's kind of a lot of pros.
I mean, yeah, I know it's the cons aren't really great.
Yeah.
You ready for the cons?
Yeah, let's hear the cons.
Okay. So the one of the things I didn't like is so they're firing this ammunition. They're just like laying into these monsters very big.
Mm-hmm.
But like, what is the strategic plan here? Like, why are they doing? Because apparently holy water is like what you're supposed to use against them.
Yeah.
But they're firing rounds on them that are probably like encrypted with because the bullets are I think encrypted.
Yeah, they got like runes on them or something.
But like, why not do the holy water first? Why are you putting people into danger?
Yeah, that was actually a very confusing aspect because like they're talking about like exercising them, right? So like you have to exercise like finish them off with the holy water, but I was like super confused because sometimes they like do that first, like whenever the helicopter's coming in, they're like dumping water on them, but like I was thinking like I thought you had to shoot them first to like weaken them and then do it.
Yeah.
Like,
So there was
yeah.
and then apparently you don't even have to. Yeah, like so, and then we had the final plan, and the main character of episode 1, fucks up his shot, and I put it was catastrophic miss, but apparently he did hit.
I mean, that's the way I took it. I thought like
I thought he hit her motorcycle.
yeah, that's that. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the only explanation, right? Why would she like fall down in the tunnel scene?
Yeah, so I was like, that's catastrophic miss in my opinion, and like everyone's like, oh, it's okay, we did a good job. No, you didn't.
Yeah.
This guy almost ruined it because he saw a fucking butterfly.
Yeah. Honestly, one of the things I wrote about this is I put tactical submachine gun firing. Like they're all like pretending they're Rambo, just standing there, just fucking unloading bullets full auto. Like
Yeah, they did do that. And that's all I have the cons after episode 1. I don't know if you had any more.
I put that the CGI is obvious.
Oh yeah, never mind. I have one more. I said the animation of the fucking monsters.
It's CGI.
It was ass. The animation of the motorcycle was ass. Whenever it's spinning around, that scene you said was badass.
Yeah.
To me, that was just a trash scene. It
I
was
mean,
just garbage.
Like I said, I like to me it was over the top cheesy, so I can forgive it for that. But it's very obvious that this is a 2008 anime using CGI when they're showing like the main monster, even a little bit on like the zombies that are invisible, a bunch of the other elements. Like the CGI sticks out. It looks awkward.
No, I really wish they just did because how hard it would have been to animate that creature. Like it might have taken like I don't know about animation, but like it was definitely not worth it to use the CGI in my opinion.
I think they could have done the invisible zombie CGI. That works fine enough. But
kinda, yeah, that would have been better than what they did with the category B monsters.
Yeah.
So it was pretty trash, and that's all I have for episode 1.
Yeah.
Episode 2, I have a really solid one. It was the Kazuki, the fight. He's fighting with briefcases.
Oh, you wrote down his name. Okay, I don't remember any of these people's names.
Yeah, he was with He's fighting with briefcases.
Yeah.
And I was hella pissed off by that.
I mean, to me that gives kind of the cheesiness of it. Like
no,
I don't mind it. Like okay, yeah, he wants to fight. Like the other guy gets like a drill hand. The two twins are using like giant magnum pistols. It's just like over the top cheesiness to me.
It's not giant pistols and having an arm that turns into a screwdriver is not as cheesy as a briefcase.
Okay, yeah.
It was really just outlandish. It made no sense. I was like, and then it had pistols, and it was kind of like going after what like what's that movie Deserena or whatever the movie is where he has like a briefcase bazooka in it. Whatever the movie it is with but anyways, I can't think of the name. But that was fucking ass.
Yeah.
I hated that scene. I even wrote his name down to talk shit about him. Kazuki because the way they start off, he uses the briefcase to kill one of them. I was like, oh, it was just convenient. I had a briefcase. They were on the vehicle. Knock him off. No, that's his actual weapon.
Yeah.
Like if you had, if you, I don't know how they do it, and maybe you know more about
He
that.
actually like shoots rockets and bullets out of it.
Wow, you know what else does that? A fucking gun. So I was really disappointed in that. Um, and there was the last big con I have, and I'll let you get into yours, is that there was there was a lot of awkward pauses. Now you know in anime they do this a lot, where they have this like long pause,
Mhm.
where it's like one frame stuck on it, and it goes on for multiple scenes.
It does do that, yes.
And there was one that was really long. You know what I'm talking about?
The standoff between Yomi and Kagura.
Yep, the standoff between them two.
Yep.
They were, it was way too long,
Yep.
and it did not cover. It was not an. We didn't have enough knowledge of the relationship
Yeah.
to actually make that a important scene.
The note I have written down that's related to that is budget saving tricks. It's obvious. That's what they were doing. They were
Yeah,
saving
they're
the budget.
extending the-
Yes,
extending the time.
they spent 15 seconds on a, like you said, a still frame, just so that they didn't have to do anything else.
Yeah.
And then like it's like the still frame, and then like after the what tension, I guess you want to call it, they like move slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was definitely a budget saving trick.
No, it was not. It was not needed.
Yeah.
I mean, it was too long, and I'm okay with it. There have been some that are infamous in my mind that have stuck with me for years. I mean, Neon Genesis has a long one that makes me question reality. This one did not. I was just like, these guys are just staring at each other, and nobody's moving.
Yeah.
That's what it was. That's all I have for my cons. What do you got?
I didn't like the Japanese politics of it. Like you were talking about how every anime has it. Like
every anime has it.
Yeah.
What was the name of it? It was the environment. It was the.
It was like the Department of the Environment.
Yeah.
And versus the SDCD, which is like the. I'd have to go look it up.
No need. It was just one. It was like a weird council they had.
Yeah.
But
it was like basically setting up like the environmental. I want to say that's what it's called. The Environmental Agency of Japan is like basically like the army, and then like they got this stupid ass like drama between like the special forces are coming in there and waving their dick around and fucking you know forcing them to give them the information they need. Kind of this is basically the dynamic. Like I don't really need that. Just keep it the special forces.
I agree. I didn't really like care for it too much.
Yeah, like you don't. Maybe they're trying to go for the gravity of the situation because there's like 4 4-star generals, like the 5-star general, and then they're all like freaking out because they're losing, and then like it was in how they do it. The chick that's waving her dick around is like in a wheelchair. Like they wheel her in.
Okay, so I like that though.
You like that?
I
Okay.
like the idea of someone in a wheelchair holding on to a lot of power.
Yeah.
Because it shows them like, yes, I'm feeble physically, but the amount of power I really have is beyond what you're comprehending. So I do like that, the element.
Yeah. Anyways, I don't care for the Japanese politics.
Yeah,
you know, we've seen enough of it, but I guess that is an interesting aspect of a character. But
I'm curious if they dive deep into it more. But like to me, it was not needed.
Yeah.
They could have taken those scenes out, and it would have been a great anime.
Yeah. Yeah. Unneeded. Might be tying back into the budget saving tricks of just like having the dudes at the table just like talking.
Yeah. All right. I agree. What else you got?
That's it for my cons.
All right. So I guess question is do you watch it or drop it?
I want to hear yours first.
Watch it.
Watch it.
What I'm worried about here is by saying watch it, does this imply I gotta watch like Ga-Rei or Zero, like Fate? I gotta watch all of them?
Well, it's just a manga. This anime is just a prequel.
I gotta watch this and then read the manga. Like
you might have to.
If that's the case, then no. But no. But I would finish this anime. It was really good, and I really like the characters and the story. And man, I like watching a female badass with a sword.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know if this is fair for you.
It's not fair. That's why I wanted you to go first.
Yeah.
Okay. I've already watched it. I wanted to put on like see if I was wearing the rose tinted nostalgia goggles. But
would you rewatch this?
I still say it's a rewatch. Yes, it's been what is it? 2008, 2023.
20 years.
15 years. I don't know. It's not 20 years.
Yeah.
That's 15 years.
Math's hard.
I would say yes. It's worth a rewatch. To me, the first episode was iconic. It made me really want to watch it. It continues on.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the full anime, and I would say yes, it's a rewatch for me.
yeah. I think I am gonna finish it because I really did invest with some of the characters. So I'm curious how it's gonna end.
Yeah.
All right, how are other people rating this anime? I know they're not doing what we're doing, rewatch or what, but like it was good.
Yeah. Man, I closed it. So on
You're on IMDb.
yeah, IMDb, it's given a 7.4 out of 10 by over 800 people.
7.4 out of 10.
7.4 out of 10.
I
So they're giving it like a 2.75 basically.
yeah, well yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I kind of agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, watch episode 1 and 2. You'll know if you'll like this kind of anime. You'll know pretty quickly.
You could probably just watch episode 1 and you're gonna want to watch the rest of it. Like it was
Yeah.
phenomenal.
Honestly, that is the main reason why I wanted you to watch it. I wanted you to experience episode 1 because again, I've never seen another anime do anything like that.
I've seen a show do that.
A show?
Invincible does that.
Let's see, I haven't seen that. So.
Yeah, and it's like you watch an anime and you're like, oh, it's cool, cool, and then the last minute, it does something that just like pulls you in for the rest of the show, and that's something that I really like. And there's every anime that has done that has been to me like I made watching it more enjoyable.
Yeah, for sure.
And this for sure is hopefully it's the same output. I will put this on my watch list. I don't know when I'm gonna get to it. It's definitely not gonna be there, but so we're both saying watch.
Yeah, but it's only what 12 episodes long.
Oh, I don't know how long.
It's 12, 13.
So
So
13, 12, 13 episodes. You guys can watch this in the evening. It deserves probably a binge.
it's on Crunchyroll.
Yeah, it's on Crunchyroll. Check it out. But before that, make sure to follow, like, subscribe, tell your friends about this episode. You know, we're doing episodes every week. This is horror themed. We have another banger dropping on Thursday.
Yes.
We're doing, what are we doing?
Elfen Lied.
Elfen Lied. All right, guys, make sure to check us out next time. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Later.
Spirit's pretty good.